There we go, folks. Get the schedule up.
So let's see who all is here. We've got UOD 303 Tech. We've got Bob and Zox actually in the
Hey, I'm
Discord
lurking.
channel right now.
I'm here for a second.
Well, good,
Would you be
man.
willing to answer a few questions?
Let me see. Maybe it's a couple. I have got a dash, but I think I can do a couple here because it'd be good. It'd be good to do it, honestly.
Absolutely, man. Well, okay. The first question I've got for you is future of Starcore. You were mentioning the other day about Starcore getting its own Discord, separate from you, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, no, it's I haven't got it all figured out yet, but should be transitioning to that soon. Just to and then be able to expand. Wow, look at that! That's amazing. Oh, so say we all. So say we all, man. That's sick. That's beautiful. Look at that.
Thank you.
That's what I want to see when we start doing like including small grids as well. That'd be really interesting if we can include small grids and somehow balance them so they can be somewhat effective and so on. Now, increase the player count, have eight player teams. You know.
One of my former team members, Frosty, is on about doing setting up a ground arena. So, how would you feel about some I don't know what you call it, ground core, planet core?
Yes, it is the only point, of course. So when it's called Starcore, you think it's in space, but no, definitely. Blank. I think Starcore's it's all right. It's like the same reason like Star anything. Like if it's Star Wars, Star Citizen, like it doesn't really matter. I think if it's still on the ground. I think so. I think it can be ground based as well. Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. Definitely.
So, how are you getting on with the camera lights, camera action side of things? I've definitely noticed your camera work getting better and better. You know, as things have gone on, it's certainly better than mine.
The main thing is the fact that I haven't been able to. I haven't had as much time I had more time like a couple months ago to do kind of work on things. I didn't really get to improve the production side as much as I wanted. I wanted to have a second PC that would have an overview map and have like a picture-in-picture like a display or stuff like that. I just didn't get around to figuring out setting it up and stuff. So that was a bit of a shame. But at the same time, I didn't want to do it because it kind of add more kind of complication. So I wanted to just do this first tournament. We know how it works. We know how like the setup works. Obviously, we had some issues with some things, but in general, like we knew how all the automation and stuff works. I didn't want to throw anything more into the mix. I just wanted to get the fighting done.
Yeah, our team may have discovered an interesting new issue tonight.
Oh, really?
My guess is it's to do with ownership. Yeah, our point defense was shooting down our own missiles. Yeah, we'll get onto that. We've got some pictures. We've got some pictures of that. So
there was some mention of this actually. Yeah, it's a good point. There was some people talking about that.
We had ownership issues where the bot pasted all of them in owned by me because I had uploaded for all of my team. It was easy to fix because I just flew over and transferred ownership of everything to them. But
yeah,
I don't think the stream will be able to see that picture at all. I'll drag something up into OBS.
The main thing is I kind of got distracted by the Battlestar stuff. You know, like it would be looking at expanding the team, and it could get an organizational nightmare potentially. And the thing is, what I don't like, and I don't think it's to do with, I think it's just I think some people sometimes think, oh, you know, well, I'll go make our own tournament and
Mhm.
it will be better and it will, you know, won't have all this issues. But at the same
It's
time,
not as
like
easy said as done. It's easier said than done, though, isn't it? I mean,
I would like to see it done first because I know there are some other tournaments in SC. I know we do get some like fighter battles and stuff, but I'm still like, there is so much work behind the scenes that
Mhm.
most people don't see happening.
yep.
So I think that any tournament would have its problems. So the main thing is I want to expand the team, and potentially we can do branch offs. It can be like the Starcore ground thing. I wanted to do this thing called Hardcore Starcore, which would maybe be, I don't know what it would be actually. It was either going to be some kind of video compilation. I don't really, if we're thinking about it, but it could be like, it could be what survival's called if we do survival battles. I know people want it, but doing survival battles adds a whole new level of complexity and
Oh,
difficulty
it really does, yeah. And
problems.
also, you know, there's two kinds of survival battles as well. There's build it and fight in survival, you know, like you would on a survival server. And
Yeah.
there's build it in creative and fight in survival. And those are two completely different beasts. You know, in creative you build something that you'd never be able to run in real survival. You know, you could stick 50 large reactors in there and fuel them that way, but in a real survival game you'd never be able to do that.
I'm just messaging someone now actually just about the fact that it's trying to get it kind of spread out where we can spread the load. The thing is, because of this, we've met a lot of like great people here. So, you know, be it team members and so on. So there's plenty of people who I think could be great like team members in terms of the organization. They can still take part, like in Valid Tonight. They can still take part in it, but they can still help with it because the problem is, I think, without mentioning names, I think we've definitely had burnout even within the team.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Even I felt burnt out sometimes because it's very stressful because there's so many people who have come and some people have left, of course, because they've been frustrated with certain decisions or drama or salt or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would never, like, the thing is, I get it, it's a competitive environment, but it's you know, it's interesting how it's worked out. So definitely trying to spread it, expand it, and have more people managing it and doing sub tournaments and so on. It could be really great. But we need the thing is we need multiple people, a lot of different sorts. We need like support of modders, and the modders currently obviously support things a lot. We also need people like Math and stuff who are doing a lot of the automation, because you've seen, obviously it's been a bit of growing pains getting the, you know, the bot working. Not everyone was a fan of the bot to start with. It was kind of, people got their IDs wrong. But when it does work and people are used to it, it makes it so much easier. You saw that, like, the ships just come in, they're like, they're checked, so we're not going to get any shenanigans or any like changes or so on. So it's been really good in that part. But like Maths is like a one-man army, so it'd be good to try and find other people who are willing to help out with that side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, and let's not forget that people give their time freely for this. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that's an important thing to remember.
That's why I never get why people get so mad about it. Because yeah, it's one thing. I mean, it's, yeah, competitive stuff, and it's not just, I forgot about the bot. It's also the on-screen display for watching, having the names on screen has made a massive difference as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I absolutely love that mod. Matt did an absolutely cracking job on that. I've been using it in big old battles as well. It's really helpful.
That's good. Good, it works.
Yeah, it's not just for Starcore, Matt. You know, anybody doing any kind of competitive battles or just battles in general can make use of that mod. It's an absolute cracker. So yeah, any points you'd like to bring up, Zoc?
Just give me 1 second here. I'm just trying to press something. 1 second. So let's see. Okay. Any other points? Let me think. Oh, these are all these people in. This is great. Look at this. This is so cool.
Live studio audience.
Hanging in. All right. Let's see.
I think this needs to be said, but still a thank you from our side as well to the
Yeah.
organizers. So.
Yeah. Thank you from all the players to all the organisers, indeed.
Well, thank you for sticking with us, because I say it's been a fun ride, and it's definitely had its issues, and we even had some issues tonight. But as long as the majority of people have fun, that's the main thing. It should be for fun at the end, and it's great to see that stuff.
I usually hate, I hated mods up until now. So like Starcore is pretty much the introduction to modded stuff to me, at least to like combat to some degree. So I feel like it's a really nice opportunity to do that first time, basically.
That's great. That's great to hear that. And I know Keen are definitely interested to see what's going on here. I'll be talking about them. I'll be telling them tomorrow, actually, in a meeting about how things have been going over the weekend.
Cool. So yeah, Keen taking a if you pardon the pun, a keen interest in Starcore.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. There's a buzz about it. There's a lot of excitement and hype about it as well. So
Awesome.
definitely, I would love to see something in vanilla like this, because not everyone still knows about Weapon Core, and some people refuse to use mods, which is understandable, or don't want to, or don't know how to. So
yeah, and if it's vanilla, it includes the console players as well.
True, very true.
Yeah, that's great. We look forward to hearing the official Keen stance on the shenanigans we've all been up to.
Let's see here, and okay, that's good. Multitasking here a second. I definitely, it's been I've wanted to be joining you guys on these after parties for a while now, because it's nice just to like chill out and just have someone else ask the questions and so on. So I would definitely try more to stick around for them. It's just often I'm so whacked out of it, and then I've got something to do quite early the next day, you know. So
yeah. Oh, I mean, and not only that, man, it's a long stream for you, and streaming's more exhausting than people think it is.
Oh, definitely. Most people who try to stream, it's one of the things they say. I've had a number of people in the community who have just been like a viewer, and they've decided to stream themselves, and then like most people are like, "Damn, streaming is so tiring," because it's, you know, it's the classic meme about streaming is the fact that this is obviously a very specific type of stream, but a lot of people streaming, or people outside of streaming, think, "Oh, you know, you're just like playing games. Like, what? How is that tiring and stuff?" And it's again, I can easily sit and play a game for like 12 hours just in silence, you know, because it's kind of relaxing and you're not like talking and stuff. But when you're streaming, you're like multitasking. You're getting like messages and you're checking one thing and that thing and reading chat, and you're having to like keep the flow. You can't just sit there in silence and like, you know, I would want to, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I just sit there in silence and enjoy the battle. But you normally need to keep things animated, right? So
yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, I felt sorry for you the other day when you were having all those technical problems, and you were just sitting there, kind of going, right, need to fill the dead space, and you know, not sure what to do about it. Yeah, it's that's never fun.
We just got to keep growing the community, I think, because I definitely I really enjoy it, but I would like to be able to you definitely not always have so much pressure on myself. I don't want it, because for example, I could just be like, yeah, I'm wrecked, I'm done for a bit, and then it would just kind of die off, and then people would leave and do other things and maybe form something new, maybe not. But I don't want to do that, because I think we've come so far. So I really want to set up a good kind of community that can manage itself. Absolutely, and then I'll definitely still be coming in. I'll definitely do more stuff, but we can have multiple people that can do it.
Well, I would like to say, as a put on a purely personal note from me, thanks for getting me streaming, Zoc. Thanks goes out to you, goes out to Directed Energy, and the various friends of mine online from Armco and other communities that have supported me with that, because yeah, I ended up streaming well, as you know, because Invalid wanted some stuff recording, and I said, well, I might as well stream, and then I decided I liked it, so I've been doing it ever since.
That's great. That's
And
super great.
I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for you know, the opportunity. You've been incredibly supportive. So thank you from me.
No, but no problem, man. Definitely, I'm always want to support anyone who wants to do that. There's always opportunity to. I'm always happy to ask questions or anything about it. If you have any other advice about streaming, I'm always open to that.
There we go.
Yeah, it would be...
Cheers, Grok, for putting that up on screen, mate. Yeah, to join the world, just join me on Steam. There is a maximum number of players because it's locally hosted rather than server hosted. Yeah, sorry, Zoc, go on,
We
mate.
currently have 11, so we have 5 slots available.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. As Chabab says, casting as well. Like these are the most tiring streams. I know some people stream for like 8-10 hours. It's normal for them, but this is like the most tiring streaming that I do, because it's like I'm like not shouting, but yeah, that's what they call shoutcasting. But it's just like very high energy, and it's very lots on the line. You got a lot of people who are like waiting to fight, and you got to keep things on schedule. Because often my normal streams, I'm just like laid back, I'm like doing whatever. So it's obviously trying to keep everything on schedule is also really tough sometimes.
Yeah, and
you're wired up the whole time.
You end up pretty wired from it. Yeah. No, I know.
I can't just unplug, and I can't just unplug and start looking at some memes or like dash off. I can maybe get some food or whatever now and again, but it's got to keep the high energy to keep everyone interested and make sure that you know, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if you were just not commentating and just having like just have the match play out and just nice camera stuff, but like not commentating and let people just read it. I don't know, but I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to see how that would pan out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd still be knackering, I gotta be honest. Just because you're paying attention to all the different things that's going on.
Definitely.
All right, mate. You got anything else you'd like to add? If not, we'll.
There's
we'll
loads more. I could talk all. I could talk all night. Honestly, I really could talk all night. It's funny. Actually, I've got a couple of messages I've got to reply to. Actually, I've actually had a number of people reach out about being guest commentators, and it's definitely something that I want to do. Even in this tournament, honestly, it's not. I haven't discussed it fully yet, but. Even later in this grand tournament, we're only 2 streams in. We still have another 4 streams to go, so maybe I will get somebody still. I have to see.
I mean, why not? I think
this is another thing that I haven't been able to have conversations about it.
Give you somebody to play off of. No, I think it'd be good. I was a little surprised that Wasted didn't get involved in that regards of it, because I know that Armco dropped out as a team, but I'm a little bit surprised he didn't dive in as a
No, it's a shame, honestly. It's a shame about. I mean, I definitely hope Armco will come back at some point. I get why. I mean, they're busy guys. They've got lots of different games and things on the schedule, and also there was some issues in the tournament back in the test tournaments. We still had all the. It's a shame they didn't join in around the 6th and 7th tournament, because the last couple of test tournaments were like pretty much flawless in terms of bugs and whatever. And obviously now it would have been good, but I think there was this drama. There was some dramas going on.
Yeah, there was.
Both on streams and also like in the admin chats and stuff. So it definitely, definitely it was understandable somewhat. So hopefully they'll be back in a future one. Hopefully they'll see how this one goes, and it'd be great to have them back again for sure.
Any other big YouTubers or streamers or big servers that are looking that would possibly be interested in getting involved in this that you know of?
Yeah, actually, yes. But the problem is, I don't want to talk about it now because if I said it and it doesn't happen, then people might go and ask them and say something. You know what I mean?
Well, fair
I'd
enough.
probably rather say it when it's confirmed. But definitely, I
enough.
want to include more communities and expand it.
Fair enough.
Definitely, it would be really interesting to get this intra-community competition.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, avoiding drama under those circumstances will be interesting, but yeah, it would be good to get everybody, you know, from different communities involved in things. I agree entirely. So we'll just have to ponder that one for who Zoc might mean.
This might be a bad time to ask this question, right? But the zone on the last stage, how fast does it move?
It's the same every time. I think it feels quicker because it's smaller, you know.
Yeah, but I don't, because when our match was up, right? Pro and CDUS were pretty solidly inside the zone. And
Yeah.
which one was? I think it was Bear, right? Bear just started to drift out of the zone, and he was starting to take damage. And then, like 1 second later, they were like a good bit out. The other two start taking damage too. And on our screens, it was as if the zone didn't move at all. And when he basically died, then the zone just like shrinked. So that might be something you guys want to look into for future tournaments.
No, we were talking about it at the end. Like, definitely, it's concerning. I mean, it's been happening for a while, and I think we kind of ignored it because, you know, most people somehow learnt to work with it. But I think some people get caught off guard. So definitely, it's not cool. It's not cool that it happens, and it's brutal to lose like that. The only positive is the fact that everyone had the same. Well, not everyone, but most teams had some kind of issue with that. I'll speak to Map about it. He's not in here right now, but I'll see if we can do anything about it.
I think Pro is annoying him in general chat. So.
That's fine.
Is Darkstar around?
He's in. Yeah, he's chatting in tournament general. But I'll let you guys get on because I definitely want to do some interviews, and it's also late for. I'm not sure how many Europeans are here and so on. And also, there's stuff to do, so I'll let you guys get on with the interviews. But another time, we can definitely stick around for a longer chat because I can talk about ideas and plans and
no worries,
brainstorming all day.
If you ever want to do anything multiplayer with me, you know where I am, mate.
Definitely, man. That would be super, and I'll let you guys keep you guys posted about where we go and the Discord and so on.
Yes, absolutely. I'm interested to see where that's going.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Have a good
luck. Bye.
Thank you again for organising everything, mate.
No problem.
Right then. So let's see. I can take that image down for now, and have a look at the schedule. So. The first match of tonight was MCE versus TTE. Do we have any members from those teams here or in voice? No one? No one at all? None of my friends.
That's a shame.
None of my friends at three triples and a fire extinguisher. I'm a little surprised by that.
That was, I think, my favorite match in Starcore so far, period. So that's a shame.
It was a hell of a match, wasn't it? Talk about close. And I have a bit of insight into three triples and a fire extinguisher because I subbed for them in one of the test matches, and I knew what the broadsider was capable of and how it worked, how it could maneuver, and without giving too much away, let's just say they had my bet. But yeah, okay. Well, other than to say what a hell of a match that was, it's a shame that they're not here, but I guess they've gone to bed. Perfectly understandable.
Anyone from UOD present?
Anyone from UOD present?
Yeah.
Yay!
Hello.
Well, good game. First off, yeah. You guys were quick.
Yeah.
You guys were real quick. We had a lot of trouble targeting you.
They insisted on building so light.
It's always light for us. Always light for
Yeah.
me, at least. I know that 303, he's usually built light. I know Reaper
Yeah.
had max ships before.
We didn't have one.
It's been all over the place.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Usually I'm based on shield.
It was very interesting to see you running circles around us and us just kind of sitting there in the center, you know, basically trying to form up like a circle of wagons. Yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah,
Agreed.
we had a strategy that fell through because we kept on switching targets. It wasn't really anyone's fault. We thought one of your ships was dead in the water, or two of your ships were dead in the water, but they weren't.
No.
So
Mr. Calzone
We were
was
trying to
without
target
thrusters.
thrust, but
Yeah. He knocked out Mr. Calzone's thrust entirely. He was in the gunship type battle star. You wounded Alex, but it wasn't anything critical. So, but it looked like it was, you know, massive gaping hole. Also, you tried to steal one of our ships at one point and run away with it. I'm assuming that was deliberate tactic to basically pick up one of the battle stars and try and leg it with it.
I don't know.
I think so. I think Bryce lost weapons, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm going in for the ram."
Yeah, I lost weapons pretty early on, and then I just decided I'm going to start sideswiping people with my wings.
Yeah, it was a strategy that we thought of before. I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to see the spectacle though. I was
Did
behind a
so much
rock.
damage.
Same.
So we had an interesting situation in our fight. I'll bring up this image again so that people can see what we're talking about. Can I just enlarge that over the screen? Right, so as you can see on the image on the stream, you guys didn't have any Grimlocks at all, did you, on your ships?
We had two.
Right.
We had
There-
two
that's not
launchers.
David.
Yeah.
And I had 4 M8s.
Yeah.
M8 are-
We were packing.
We had ours on. I had. Oh, sorry.
I
Go.
was to say we were packing quite a lot of missiles, and here you can very clearly see five Grims all fired at once. So that definitely came from Talia's ship, and you can definitely see a battle star with its point defense shooting them down. So we were in some weird situation of shooting down our own point defense at one point, and we don't know why. So we think there might be a problem to do with ownership. It wasn't a huge problem, but yeah, it was certainly an oddity. I'm just curious whether you guys had the same sorts of problems in that battle.
I would have to look. But I didn't see any of my PDCs fire at my Grimlocks.
Neither did I.
Maybe it's something with PDXs because we didn't use the laser point defense.
Yeah, we're always. Yeah, it's.
Ours were disco balls. So, which we've not had a problem with previously. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, it wasn't a big problem for the fight, but it's something that I don't know, could do with getting sorted in the long run, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of our ships? What was the? I'm curious because you were our opponent. So, what was the problem ships? What did you identify and look at and go, right, this needs to die first, then this.
Blue ship. The
Only one
blue
with all
ship.
the guns had to go.
We knew that was going to do a lot of damage, so we're like, oh yeah, we should take out its thrust like right away, cripple it, and then move on.
Yeah, but there's the thing.
Dude.
We targeted the wrong ship.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, no. For the beginning, we did not target the wrong ship.
I'm kind of sure we did.
I don't know. But
I don't
then I think our second target was green ship, the one with all the protectors. I'm pretty sure that was our second target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the two that basically, from our team's perspective, they were the ones that were the upfronters. We had two brawlers and two backliners, and yeah, you're right that the brawlers had the higher DPS, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor old Mr. Calzone. He didn't come out of that looking pretty.
Yeah.
Anyone from my team,
being...
anyone else from my team around would like to come up and join us as well. If you've got any comments, or have they all disappeared for the night? I think they might have all disappeared for the night.
No. They're all here. I think they're just waiting for their turn.
Oh, fair enough. I'll dive up as well at the same time, folks. Come up and pipe in.
You too, Calzone. Go on.
Yep. Buttons, seats. I will first state from as the perspective of the person who got utterly mauled, it was a very good match. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
It was a fun match. I have to
match.
agree with that.
Absolutely was. And like I said, you guys were, oh god, you were hard to hit. Like, you were outrunning my missiles and like trying to keep my coils on target on you was a blooming nightmare.
I can tell you, I did not outrun a lot of those missiles.
Agreed.
I remember I have this vivid memory in my mind right now. It's just of all M8s just crunching into my shields.
Oh, that was you, was it? Fair enough. Yeah, there was one point.
Barrage?
Yeah, there was one point you got a barrage from like three of us, and yeah,
And my shield survived because I had good shields, but still.
Now I've got a question. Starting with UOD, who was flying what?
Bryce was flying the Protector. I was flying the Loki.
I
303
was flying the Usonia.
And Reaper was flying the. That's
flying
a
the
Bryce.
Okay.
Yeah, Pegasus.
And big old battles? Same question. Who is flying what? And what role were you serving?
So I was flying the Ursa Minor, and I was mid-range fire support. Talia was flying the.
I was flying the Optimus, missile spamming pew pew.
Alex, who has gone to bed.
Yep. No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here? Oh, I'm sorry. I do apologise, mate. I thought you'd gone to bed.
I'll stay up for a bit longer. Don't worry. I was flying the Cerberus Gunstar, so long range coils, 203s, and Tigers, which came into I think really good effect against your Defiant at the end. So yeah, it was pretty fun.
I was piloting the flying scrap field and with all the guns on.
Now, I've got a question for UOD. Your builds. We were curious. Built yourself, workshop, combination of the two.
Built from the ground up.
Built
Oh
from the
wait, no.
ground up?
Reaper ship
one
was a
of the-
shell off the workshop, but everything else we built.
Yeah, mine was based off something off the workshop. Well, and there are a few like things I based it off of, but yeah, it was partially based off the workshop. I know it was different from the thing I built, so I was happy about that.
I couldn't have even taken mine off the workshop. There's no other protectors. The only other one is corrupted.
And you guys are the ones that brought the Deep Space Nine previously, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
God, that was a good build.
It was so. Okay, I know Bryce doesn't want me to tell you this, but there's this little thing in Cisco's office.
Oh god.
It was a kitchen, and I keep on calling it Cisco's Grill. It's really funny.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, when I heard we were up against you guys, I thought, oh, are we going to be fighting DS9? We're going to see Battlestar versus Deep Space Nine here. One day.
The chat was just rife with puns and quotes from
It
either
was.
series.
Yeah, it was just Star Trek quote, Battlestar quote, Star Trek quote, Battlestar quote. You know, it's like, do the Riker maneuver.
The Riker maneuver.
Do the Adama maneuver.
I still feel sorry for the person flying the Ober. Got immediately yeeted.
The one that got what?
The Ober Pegasus.
Oh, Reaper ship. Yeah, no, that he died really early on. It was kind of disappointing.
Got sniped.
I think I know what moment she's talking about, where his shields came on and he was facing her nose. The nose isn't shielded, so her ship was fine. His got yeeted.
Oh yeah, no, his was he. So from prior tournaments, I had always built the ship that does what his ship did there. And this tournament, I wasn't able to build that good of a ship. We didn't have enough time to refine. We didn't spend nearly as much time as we should have.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I've got a question for you, UOD, if you could want to answer. What ship of ours did you find the most challenging or difficult to fight against, or like give you the most problems?
The ship that gave us the most problems. That's a good question. Since we took out the both ships that had the missile boats and like the long range ships, they annihilated us.
I have a specific one. I think it was the pink one.
Yeah, the pink one was the missile boat.
Yeah, I tried killing it so many times. It was so difficult to take out.
You didn't have a good enough armaments.
Yeah. Yeah, mainly your shields.
Yeah, there wouldn't be Battlestars if they weren't reasonably tanky.
Yeah.
The one thing
I will
the one thing
say,
I'm disappointed about that Zoc didn't manage to get on camera, because God knows there was enough destruction caused. Inside our ships, we've got dead engineers. And I really wanted there to be dead engineers floating off into space. But it just didn't happen.
As soon as the Oberth came on screen when you guys were putting in your ships, chat was going off about how fragile they are. I think my favorite quote from that is, "LOL, an Oberth. I wonder if it has the explosion module equipped."
Like,
Of course, it was the first
when we were
to die.
Yeah, no, our original plan for our ships, it was like we decided to give Reaper the ship that always blows up as a plot point in Star Trek.
Yeah.
And that just we didn't expect him to go out that soon, but he did.
Yeah.
Well, I will say to you, gents, if you ever want to bring some of your Star Trek builds over to Big Old Battles, you'd always be more than welcome. Good thematic builds.
Keep that in mind. Thank you.
I just want to say real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say real quick. I yeeted myself out the border. That's my fault.
Oh yeah, I also did that twice, and then I died.
Yeah, that zone sneaks up on you.
Yeah. It blew me in half.
I saw rewatching the stream. What happened to you? Because you were like at 99% hull, and then you dropped got instantly yeeted. So what? Did something hit you, or did you just fall out the sphere?
My ship is literally just one layer of light armor, and just reactors everywhere.
No,
That's
I
why.
saw what happened. The zone blew up and like a million M8s hit you all at once because I was trying to get over to you to help weld, and then you just broke in half immediately when M8s hit you.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
got.
I
I think
also
the
saw
zone
that
got a
from-
lucky shot.
M8s aren't lucky shots; they trap.
No, I'm talking about the zone.
I
it blew me up.
Okay, but no, the thing is, I always build my ships light, and I told Bryce, like when I was building my ship, I'm like, I cannot make another Rosinante build because I really like those builds. So I had to make it wasn't as fast as I wanted. That's basically what I'm saying. Like I was able to drift with it, but not drift as much as I wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, as somebody that was kind of trying to keep track of you guys, you were mighty fast.
And actively trying to suplex each other's ships.
Yeah.
The question that I had was, for each team, starting with UOD, if you could have done one thing different with that match, what would it have been?
I'll let Bryce have this question.
I don't know. I just wish you guys pushed our asteroid. That would
Agreed.
We had. I remember. I keep on pulling up at past things we do to compare this, but I had this strategy that I used against the Protector because I knew my ship couldn't beat it, where I would hide behind an asteroid. It would go over. I would blue grim it. It would lose its thrust, and it would just go out. It was really funny. It never worked though.
We're battle stars. Of course we're not going to come to you.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got their point.
I don't know.
You would just hold the
Alright.
center, you know. That's the thing.
Go
The
battles.
sphere would
Same question.
get smaller.
Alright, we could have done anything differently. Better piloting on my half, so I didn't have to turn and burn.
Yeah. Keep Calzone in
What
the
about
middle.
weapon settings?
Yeah, that
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yes. We didn't set our weapons to target our specific targets, and we probably should have, in retrospect, because there was a lot of times we were keeping shots on, or keeping tracks on, and then the guns were going wherever the hell they wanted.
I know at one point, and I'm sure people in the chat saw it too, Tali ended up having to use the M8s and the Grims as direct fire weapons.
Really?
Yeah, the Protector went underneath me, so I rolled the ship, put the belly underneath it, and just fired the M8s right at it.
Were you targeting utility?
Oh, yes, we were.
I have over 500. I have like 500 upgrade modules in the wings of the Protector.
Oh yeah. We don't want to talk about the spinning lights. Just yeah.
No, yeah, Reaper put rotating lights, but targeting utility is so hard on the Protector because of all the upgrade modules.
Ah, so you're using upgrade modules as essentially free decoys.
And no one else did this because I checked all the block counts and stuff, but I also had atmospheric thrusters in there, so you couldn't target my thrusters.
Stunning.
Because those aren't banned.
Interesting.
What about the solar panels?
Yeah,
Power
there wasn't
systems,
that many.
reactors.
Yeah.
I think for us, when you rushed us, I think we should have held our formation a bit better, maybe pulled back to keep our weapons facing you a bit better. Because you guys seriously surrounded us, and you got in our formation, and it could have, seriously put the pressure on.
Honestly, you would have had us if you'd all focused down one target at a time.
Yeah.
Yep. Because you got calzone pretty early, and then you focused the green one, the Gunstar, and me, and got both our shields down, and then I don't know what happened with you guys, but it just seemed like we got a chance to breathe, and then we hit back hard.
That's
I don't
because
remember.
2 small ships ran away to go recharge, and then I was just getting shredded.
Oh yeah,
How was
that
that?
was what I. Yeah, no, I was at like 40. I was like at 20% shields and dropped it, so I had to run.
And like the small ships have to run away because if they lose shields, they just break apart like in a few seconds.
Yeah.
That is
Exactly
a
what
valid tactic.
happened.
I acknowledge that. That's a valid tactic that works if you've got the right equipment and the right team loadout to use it. And you guys very nearly pulled it off. You did correctly identify that if you could pull out all our engines, you could, basically sink it.
Yeah.
Mhm. If it, the one problem was Reaper was practically our heavy hitter of the small ships. So if he was able to retreat too, I think we would have had it. He didn't make it. I think he was drifting along the edge of the sphere and then he got a cockpit snipe and went off.
I do feel that the Artemis was a very strong counter to your team because, as you said, you're reliant on shields rather than armor, and those Grims have got shield penetration, so they'll chip away at you no matter what.
Great use of the asteroids, though. Using them as cover from the long-range missile fire, that was very effective. I saw more than a few of our long-range missile shots impacting the asteroids instead of you guys.
Yeah, I've had prior experience where I tried to retreat against behind an asteroid. It was against one of the teams. It was like one of the matches we lost with DS9. I attempted to retreat behind an asteroid to safety because I know asteroids are basically safe. Only really max shots can get through that, and I know you guys didn't have the max.
Yes, I caught a scene of somebody firing through an asteroid. I think it was yesterday, but it's like, really? we know they ignore the voxels, but really?
It was also really good to see that you kept your team cohesion even when you were down 2 ships, because both of you pulled back to recharge your shields and you regrouped for another assault, which I thought was very commendable when your backs were against the wall. So I thought, yeah, good on you. Good fight. Very, very good fight.
Went down swinging.
Absolutely.
To be honest, right up until the end there, we thought we were losing.
Yes. 100%.
Yep. I do remember at some point one of us going, "Hang on a minute, we're winning."
Yeah.
It was really confusing for most of the match. Like there was no real obvious winner until the end of it.
Yeah. Once Reaper got knocked out.
Strong. I was gonna say at the beginning of the match, made the better man win, and you guys clearly won. So. Well, I guess you guys are the better team. I was going to say better team.
It was a very good match, and always happy to fight you guys again sometime.
Completely unfair, Diggle. All 3 of us got damage. You didn't even get shot.
Yeah, I think you were just leaving me alone, honestly. I got like 2 thrusters got set on fire, and that was it.
Yeah, we were going to target one ship at a time, and when we thought we disabled, we split. Yeah, we split apart for the thing. We probably could have kept on going.
I think that
to be
screen
honest,
coming up behind us is dropping a very subtle hint that we should move on to the next teams. And that is fair. Well, thank you
thank you for
much.
letting us have. Yeah, thank you for having us. Letting us have the opportunity.
Absolute pleasure, mate.
Thank you.
See you guys. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, Alex. Right.
I've left the game to free up slots for more people from the audience.
Yes, and again, if you'd like to join Big Ol' Bear, I will be posting the link to go to his profile. You can add him on Steam and join him through the Steam friends list to join us for interviews.
Mm-hmm. And the next team was next fight was between HAC and TEC. Do we have anybody from those teams around?
Just me, I'm afraid.
Well, come on up and let's have a chat. Until me.
Spartan is long gone to bed, and most of my teammates are off now too. I know some subs on Spartan's team might be around, but.
And you were on the other team, right? The because Spartan was just got the one. Like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but this was the match that I sort of missed some of because obviously I'd just been fighting my match. So so Spartan was in the one big ship, and you guys were a team of 4.
That's correct. Yeah. Our team philosophy for our builds was if everyone goes with 8.5K ships, we'll build 3 with 10 that can solo, 1 zippy, 1 with 5K that can stay alive, and then if any 1v1s happen, our 10Ks beat 8Ks.
Right.
But our biggest fear was Spartan, and we got paired against him first, so that's fun.
Yeah, it was. I caught the tail end of the match, and it was pretty brutal. Brutal would be the best description I've got for it. Any technical issues today for you?
As soon as I loaded in, all of our scripts weren't working, but that's been a common issue, and we know the workarounds.
Yeah.
You just repaste,
Yep.
recompile, and then if none of that works, F5 usually.
Yep.
So we just repasted, and that went fine. All the ships were owned by me because I registered all of our ships, so I just flew over and transferred ownership. That was also fine.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of teams that have uploaded via Discord, you'll find that all the team captains that uploaded them, it's going to happen to everyone that's uploaded that way. We figured it was just easier to have one person upload all of our ships, and this was just an unforeseen issue. But yeah, the bot's going to sort that out in no time flat.
Hey, Zero. Zero, I believe, was one of the last-minute team member additions to Spartan's ship, right?
Ah, right.
Yeah. We had to okay it with the admins having me sub in again for Spartan. I'm just a sort of regular on his ship.
So what job were you filling on that on the big cruiser then, mate? Were you welding?
I was the upper deck. I was the upper deck welder and sighter, so we were keeping an eye out for RAM locations and PMWs because obviously these two teams have been absolutely brawling against one another for like the last couple of weeks in preparation for this. So we knew they knew all the tricks of this ship, and they so far have come the closest to anyone to putting a dent in that monstrosity that Spartan created.
It really
we
is.
Practiced against him a lot, and the only time we've beaten him is when we took 50K against the 35 of his.
So I guess what I'm hearing is Spartans want to watch for maybe the winning seat.
Yeah, I think we and other PMW teams are the best equipped. Us especially because we know the inner workings because we've been practicing against him plenty. I would definitely watch out for Spartan against players who don't know the best tactics against him. A bunch of people were yelling at us in chat to like get in there because Talos was dying the Daedalus when we were at war, but we would have died way sooner if we had gotten in range of all of the 300s and 203s.
Your Daedalus was lovely, by the way.
Apparently he accidentally fat-fingered Y and turned his shields off when the PMWs were coming in, I guess.
That's unfortunate.
He denies it, but other people said they saw it. I don't know.
I didn't see his shields like it go down, like start reducing and then go down. I just looked up at the stream when we were fighting and I just saw the red 0 and I was like, oh no. And yeah, Spartan saw it a half second after me and that was when the PMWs went out and did their
Are we sure he wasn't betting a lot of clangers on the opposition?
Yeah, no, it was our tactic was the zone and our PMWs were the two weapons that were actually going to kill his ship, and so we decided to wait for that first zone before we engaged. So hopefully the second zone shrink would be happening when he was crippled enough that maybe we could push him out, which was my ram desperately at the very end.
What script did you up for?
Spartan was victim to the zone bug, but luckily enough, I for some reason wasn't, and I have like the worst ping in this whole tournament right now, and that seemed to actually save me somehow. So I was actually able to manually guide him back into the zone, saying go left, go right, up, down. You know, because yeah, he was in full blown panic mode when you started tugboating him out of the zone.
Yeah,
that was what we were worried about. We were like,
hilarious
where's
to
the
watch.
witch? Where's the witch? Where is it?
Right.
I mean, honestly, we were like, is he going to push him around in circles? Sumo wrestling them out the zone? What's going to go on here? Yeah, that was good from a viewer perspective. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
very
entertaining.
entertaining.
Spartan has probably done more learning on Weapon Core and all of its systems than a lot of the other teams. Like there are a lot of like little niche mechanics that Weapon Core have that that really benefit pilots that take the time to go and learn them.
Yeah,
and
like
Spartan has put in a lot of time.
Wasn't it like a week before? Yeah, it was like a week before his first match against Platinum Spiders of all people that like he was a brand new person, but he hopped in a bunch of our Discord calls and was like, "Oh, so this is how this works. Oh, you can target paint like this. Oh, and you should spread out your, you know, yeah." He put the hours in for sure, and has rebuilt that Charybdis so many times in different ways.
I have a controversial question for both sides of this match. Your opinions on focused damage types or weapon spreads?
Both are definitely necessary. Every single weapon type currently used in Starcore has an advantage and a weakness, and you'll notice if looking at the armaments on the Charybdis, it's 135k ship that utilizes everything bar a mat cannon.
I mean, and blisters and other small things like that, obviously. But like, yeah, all of the main guns, it's got a bunch of 300s, coils. It's got Gladius too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fully a wide variety. M8s to saturate, M1s for their hyper heavy armor piercing, bunker busting. Like,
they are just
integrate when you're in front of that thing. We've tried it. The coal has. If we've gone in one at a time, each of our ships would have died in seconds.
Yeah. Up until the very end, only about 70% of our arsenal was ever shooting, and that was why. Yeah, if you try and get within 3 kilometers of that ship and all of the guns start lighting you up, it's seconds, not minutes.
Yeah, on these massive battleships have got me a little bit scared. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, like Spartan has spent some time with Mac and Cheese when they were going through their potato phase, and that was when Spartan decided to take off, liking the concept, but he had a different idea of how to go about it. And I honestly think his 35k is probably the scariest one in the tournament. Just considering
PMWs even.
What was that, Duff?
I was saying it's packing PMWs even, speaking about like weapon variety.
Yeah, so other 35k ships.
There he is.
They're going to struggle. He's in?
Hello. Spartan.
I had to step out after my match to do some Father's Day stuff, but then I remembered you guys usually do post-game interviews. Am I too late?
No,
we're actually literally just doing talking about our match right now.
Oh, that's hilarious! All right, I'll let you continue, and then I'll give you my perspective.
You're more than welcome to put in your perspective.
You can take over, dude. I was just getting blown off the ship for half the match, so we're all good. You take over.
All right.
Hell of a ship,
well, are you guys in that talk show world or something like that? Or
yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll try to join that in a sec. But yeah, in terms of my perspective, no, it was an amazing battle. There were some really hairy moments there. The first one was when the data list, which I thought I had killed with the PMWs, came in for the ram while I was still fortified, and actually that was like the first major damage I took because they knocked me out of fortify, and I didn't refit my shields fast enough, and they took off the nose, the foremost nose of my ship, and I lost 200-300s in an instant that way.
And
So
how did you feel about being taken for a ride around the arena?
yeah, well, I was about to get into that. So like, I wasn't expecting that, but by God, I respected the tenacity, because like the fact that they just kept going for the Rams, and at one point the Daedalus was holding me in place, and I was trying to get free, and then the Witch November ran me from the side, and they were really trying so hard to get me out this.
We knew in talking about our strategy for this match that only two things would kill you, and it wasn't any weapon core weapons. It was either PMW or the zone.
And honestly speaking, that was the two things that did the most damage to me. So before they went in for the ram clinch, when my shields dropped for the first time, I saw the PMWs too late, and my point defense and everything was set to repel, but I still got hit by them, and that was like probably the single most damage I took from like one attack. Like I think the top of my ship got hit by like 5 or 6 PMWs, but
We saw that
I-
coring blow. Yeah.
yeah, but I saw the first one hit, and then I was turning, and I was trying to keep up my speed, because I was like, all right, if I throw them off just a little bit, they won't core like straight through to my cockpit, and thankfully that is what happened. They missed the center of my ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the single biggest damage, and I was like, oh, this is really bad. This is super.
Well, and being in a ship
super
that
bad.
large, there's no way in hell
One-
you're dodging PMWs. You know?
No, and that's the reality I knew.
Yeah, we can finally put a number on the damage of a single PMW. I was standing right where the PMWs were hitting on the coil gun. That coil gun went from 97% to 3% with one PMW. One.
Yeah, and coil guns are considered like one of the tankiest weapons in the game in terms of like damage, like
Yep.
health. Yeah, so
I think obviously only a Mac gun has more.
can one shot. Yeah, does more damage.
I don't know, has more health.
Oh, more health.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know a max shot, I think, like, if you hit a weapon with that, like a coil, like, it will one-shot, like, the coil or any other weapon.
Yeah,
like, with the Mac.
my experience with Max is they make a big line through the ship.
We tested, it can go through 2.5 Gladius lasers.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's a
The
shame.
Mac cannon.
Did any Mac teams win at all in the tournament yet? Because I feel like no teams kind of, like, really used
A
Max.
couple have got through. TLB, the Defenders Min-Max team got through.
Oh, yeah, with the
this
Pac-Man
actually,
Mac. Yeah.
This actually brings me to an interesting question. I have sort of a reverse interview question for you, Biggle Bear. For
yeah, go for it, mate.
your next match is whoever wins versus TLB or Khan.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Of
terrified.
the two of them, which would you rather fight, or do you think you have a better chance against?
I'd rather fight TLB. I've got to be honest. But either way, I'm scared. Yeah.
You have a plan to kill 57 million shield.
Not much of one. Is about
Because
the best
we
plan I've
struggled
got
with-
there.
Same as last time. Pilot error.
Because we struggled to pull down Spartans. How many shields when you're fortified?
I think I have around 32 or 34 million fortified, but that doesn't really count since like you guys didn't take it down through damage. You took it down through like me moving out of fortify speed.
I mean, both. We had you down to like 40% when we rammed you, and
Well,
then
that is
the
true.
ram brought you to like, yeah.
So if we're going up against something that's got like 1 billion shields, our hope and prayer is the Grims because of the shield pen.
Mm-hmm.
And that is indeed a hope, and that's also our anti-drone measure. Same reason.
Well, I think in terms of like the shield number sounds a lot scarier than it is. I think if your team puts weight of fire on like a shield bubble like that, you will prevail in terms of like how much damage they could do back in return to you. Like I think like It's more about like the number of shots and less
Yeah,
the
yeah.
individual damage.
They don't have a great deal of range on their ship, but fortified, all three of those ships total over 110 million shields.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like
And
to
that's
point out.
a tough nut to crack. But
One
the
point-
other thing is, like, the other two ships are not designed to fortify.
One thing I'd like to point out that's I'm seeing as a trend so far from the few matches I have seen is that people are definitely apparently learning the lesson of check your corpses. Make sure your targets are dead. Certainly, finally,
Yeah.
before moving on to target someone else.
Yeah,
If you're gonna finish
Spartan, you
someone
were
off,
saying you thought Talos was dead when you saw Talos and Shooting Man in the Venator and Daedalus get cored by PMWs, but we knew PMWs fly to the center of the grid, the bounding area your ship takes up. And so both of those ships were designed to have literally nothing important in the center of their ship. That hole, that massive hole in the center of the Venator, was literally nothing but light armor.
No, your ships
I
are.
actually figured that might be the case.
Tech ships are super tanky in terms of like it just takes like an obscene amount to actually kill them. I think
Yeah, everyone kind of scoffs at light armor, being like, "Why wouldn't you just make your whole ship a heavy armor brick?" It's like, well, there is some merit to empty space.
With that
Like-
knowledge in mind, where it targets the center of the ship's bounding box,
Yes.
would that would that change, say, if the ship were a ring ship of some sort?
Oh yeah, I think a ring ship would literally have PMWs flying through it like a freaking basketball hoop.
Yes, it would.
I haven't tested it, but
I
I'm
have.
pretty sure.
I have, and yes, yes, it does.
Yeah, but bringing a ring ship also opens you up to like other structural problems.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah. The whole
PMWs
joke
fly
of
to center of
NATO.
mass, for what it's worth. It's not geographic.
They actually
center
fly
of
to the
grid.
center of your. They fly to the center of the area your ship takes up, not the center of mass.
That's it. I thought it was center of mass.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh.
No, I think it's the center of the bounding box, right?
Script them. At least our dev script. I don't know if other scripts maybe target differently.
Yeah, fair enough.
At this point, Rydalin would chime in like, "Not my script."
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if I start seeing PMW scripts that target specific blocks. Fly straight for the cockpit, yeah?
Boy, that would have been like if that existed and was on ours, I think Spartan would have been dead. Actually.
Yeah.
I mean, vice versa. Like, I wish I had something like that too.
Oh yeah,
I think
Talos would have died. Shooting Man would have died.
yeah. So it still would have been like a 50-50 on who. But that's. I think at the end of the day, I think that's one of the reasons why PMWs probably have no place in future tournaments. At least that's my opinion.
Well, it's a very controversial subject, isn't it?
Yeah. TEC's view is we really don't care. They're really good, so we'll use them.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing for me. I use them because they were available. It's like being
Gentlemen?
Oh,
that's the subtle prompt from our management team. We need to be on to the next interview.
Yes.
Oh,
indeed.
my bad.
No worries.
It's all good.
Right. Now, No Care has popped in, I believe, and they were for the first team. Although I need a 30-second break. Give me 30 seconds, folks. I will not be long. We can either arrange for No Care to step up, or for the people from Hype or Sin.
Really
Back
sad
in a sec.
LCDs were off during the showcase.
Today's show was brought to you by Clang Cola and assorted other various beverage dealers around the verse. Big Ol' Bear Industries would like to promote any and all other streamers taking part in Starcore. If you
Yeah.
have footage you would like to see submitted to the show, please do so on the appropriate Discords, and we will attempt to display them at the appropriate times.
Indeed. I'm back. Thanks for filling the dead space there, Mr. Calzone. Right. Do we have either No Care joining in, or do we have, if not, do we have anybody from the... What does it say shh on the screen? Why did it say shh on the screen?
If you want.
Yeah. Yeah, do we either have No Care from within from the first match TTE, because nobody was around when I asked for people from the first match.
He's here.
He's here. Excellent. Hey, buddy. Yeah, well fought. Very well fought. Yeah.
Oh, that was such a hard fight. My heart was going so much.
Yeah, I'll bet it was. Yeah. Now, I've as I was saying to my team when you guys were fighting, it's like, I know these guys. I subbed for them for a match, and I know what the broadside ship's about, and I'm betting my clangers on you. Yeah. God damn.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of the people who remembered the broadside were like, I'm betting on that one to win.
Damn, that ship is good.
Having to take on 3 ships at the end there, just battering me with being the only one with any guns left was a challenge for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine it was. No, honestly, you really had me on the edge of my seat. I was just like, come on, man, go on, okay, you can do it. Go on, you can do it. Didn't let me down.
Yeah, I was very worried when we lost Charles, because our small missile ship was getting focused, and so we sent Charles to try to back them up while we finished off the current threat. And Charles was so focused on figuring out where they were because they got disoriented that they completely forgot about the zone and flew straight out of it.
That was what happened.
Yeah, they complete loss of situational awareness, so we basically gave them a free kill, which is why it turned suddenly from we're clearly winning to, well, this is going to be a close fight.
Yep. I swear at one point the little ship on the enemy team was trying to crawl inside you.
It really was. I'm just like, I'm just going to maneuver as little as I can to stay inside the zone. And so that's why I just kind of let it sit directly on top of me. I'm like, I don't care as long as it doesn't push me out.
There are some advantages, and it's thrilling as all heck to watch you spin in place and retarget that full broadside. Just the snap of your fingers, you're right there. You spin it around, and suddenly all of those guns are firing at somebody completely different.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to make sure that I could always keep the guns on target, since I am limited to a narrow firing arc. It would have been very foolish to do that and not be able to maneuver well enough to keep them on things.
Yeah. No, I mean, as I said, I've seen that design in action before, at least iterations of that design, and yeah, didn't disappoint, mate. it's real good.
I'm glad. Oh, it was a fun fight. I'm glad people were enjoying it. It's a great feeling to see Xsox so hyped up at the end of a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't mind my asking,
I
would like to ask, what was your most challenging moment during that battle? Like the moment where you weren't sure what to do next?
Oh man, I would have to say, so right as the final zone was closing, which Xsoc luckily checked on stream so people got to see that, yeah, we were all maneuvering for the final zone closing in. I started my burn to make sure that I would be into the zone, and right as I go to flip so that I can use my rear engines to slow myself down, somebody on the enemy team, I wasn't sure exactly who, hit my cockpit with a coil. right at that moment. And so I got ripped out of my cockpit with too much speed because now I'm going to coast all the way to the far side of the zone.
Yep.
And I know I'm the only one left that really has the firepower. Like, Rook still had some guns at that point, but I knew it was going to be out pretty quick. And so when I was switching over, trying to get to the backup so I could turn around in time, I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop before going out. And if I do, and I lose my main engines right now, I have no idea what I'm going to do, because there's no way that I, against 3 ships, that they can't wrestle me out if they feel like doing it if I don't have my main engine. Luckily, I was able to stop just at the edge. I think my back third poked out of the zone at the far side.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it just looked as someone that was viewing that match. It looked to me like there was just a little ship trying to crawl inside a big ship to avoid the guns. You know, it's like I'll get in here under the guns where I can't be targeted, and I'm just gonna push and push.
He was a persistent little bugger, especially because he was the one that we targeted that ship at the very beginning. That was the first one that we stripped. And I'm like, why are you still around being an annoyance all the way at the end? You're the last one alive. Could you just die already? Yeah, and I think I actually lost my main engine to him at a later point because he still had 2 coils, and he just, the whole time, he just wouldn't let up on me with those last 2 coils. But I knew his DPS just wasn't high enough to warrant finishing him off just to get rid of the coils.
Yeah.
We seem to have gained a member of Hype.
Any ratings? Cool. Any before I bring Hype up, any last comments? No care. Any? Do you know who you're up against for the future?
I do. I remember their names. The problem they had the really fast ships in day 1. They were they weren't even over 10 million mass. I think is the whole team. They're M8 spam.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they were the one fighting the flower pots.
Yeah.
the flower pots that got crushed.
Yeah, the flower pots with the non-functional guns.
Yeah, I was like those flower pots didn't do so hot.
So it would have been the first match of day 1, which I actually haven't seen because I missed the first match of day 1.
That team is UFG UK2 United Factions.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that match. That one, I still think that's going to be a challenge. They seemed like they were good pilots, so we think we can win, but it's definitely going to be a tough fight for sure.
Nah, let's get the Hype team member up here as well, shall we?
Oh boy, I should probably hop in the server, huh?
You can just connect via remote if you want. It's up to you. You're totally welcome to hop in. So totally up to you, mate.
Load up here as soon as I can figure out which server it is.
So your best bet is just to join via my Steam profile.
Right.
Which it's linked in chat. I linked it in the tournament general as well.
Oh, sure, I had that already set up, but I guess not. Big wool bear.
Anyone from Sin present?
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone from there.
It's a shame. I'd love to talk to Sin about their ships. It's the connecting madness.
They did have some nice ships.
Oh, they really did.
Let's see.
Yeah, exactly, Zero. It's
Sin
late
won
as
the,
hell for them. Yep.
Yeah, Sin won the style thing, didn't they?
I believe so, yeah.
I believe so.
Well deserved.
Either
as
them
well.
or MCE.
trying to get the profile here.
No worries. Mods are basically the same as Starcore, so you should just be able to. You shouldn't be much to download.
There's literally just one additional mod, and that's just for stage settings.
Oh, speaking of mods, it was hilarious that when Muzzled was giving tech support to Zoc on the channel and saved the stream. That was a great moment in real time.
Yeah, I've had to do that exact same rigmarole to get like 3 separate people running.
Yep.
Space Engineers has been rather rickety.
I literally have a tutorial video on it. Not quite that problem, but the other problem where the mods won't upload. Maybe I should create a separate one for that as well and get them put together.
Yeah, the ones that always seem to work for me is the total nuke of all mods using the weapon core tutorial on the discussion page.
Yeah.
All right, guest spawn. Here we go. All right. And I'm here.
Hey, welcome. Have a seat. So, how did you get on today?
Well, there was some good news and there was some bad news right from the get-go. The good news was that it was a very nice day today. The bad news is everything else that happened. So, I allowed myself to get suckered in by the concept of painting with your turrets.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where you can target a particular location on the enemy vessel and all of your turrets will shoot that specific point rather than kind of shotgun spraying everywhere like they usually do.
Mm-hmm.
And this means you can burst down a ship extremely quickly. But I am not a pilot, I'm not a builder, I am the shot caller on the team, and I decided I was going to be playing gunner this time.
I see.
I had somebody else piloting, that was Preston, and Dragonog was in how's my driving as usual.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what ended up happening is I got laser focused on a particular problem that we were having. It was, I think it was their battleship or something. Started just ripping into him, but what he started doing is he rammed into our nose and started pushing us away from Dragonog across the entire arena, and then the rest of his team just dogpiled Dragonog, then came for us. Because I was just so laser focused on getting the target painter stuff to work.
Yeah, there was an awful
I didn't even
lot
notice.
of pushing people around this time. It was a sumo core.
Yeah, it was quite something. When people see a big ship and they have more ships than, well, they do, it's like, oh, I'm gonna ram that, and I've seen that go extremely poorly for a lot of lighter builds where they, yeah, I'm 8 million, I'm really heavy. No, you're gonna run into a 45 million brick wall. Ask Spartan how he knows that.
Yeah.
But that extremely well-placed ram that just broke off the entire front left quarter of our ship is exactly how I would have set it up, but I didn't set it up because I wasn't shot calling. I was playing it being gunner using this little gimmick feature that really didn't get us anywhere.
So, would you put that down to the feature itself, or would you put that down to your skill with it?
Well, don't get me wrong. It worked for exactly what it was for. And what it was for was coring out the enemy ship, and yeah, it did exactly that. And you could say I was not skilled in it and that I allowed myself to be tunnel visioned in. But you kind of have to be always bouncing around, looking around, but you're not focusing on everything else is going on. As soon as you are in the pilot seat, you're in the gunner seat, as soon as you have a singular goal, you lose perspective of everything around you. And this happened in Spartan's fight as well. Got rammed blindsided like 3 times despite there being 4 of us on the ship looking around. Really? Really?
Yeah.
And yeah, situational awareness, I feel, is far more valuable than any little gimmick. You know, target painting's great. It's awesome, whatever. It's not going to win fights. No weapon wins a fight. Piloting does. Unless they're using blisters, that loses fights.
What gives you that opinion?
I don't know. I'm just full of hot takes that are really bad. I highly encourage everybody to use blisters, actually.
Yeah, the range on blisters leaves a little
Everyone
bit
use
to be
blisters.
Yeah. Well, that was one of my propositions that I made was no shields, blisters only, final destination, no items.
I'm still convinced there's a large number of blisters unaccounted for in the ships shown so far. I guarantee someone probably has a ship all the blisters somewhere in the tournament.
just nothing but blisters. It's a giant pyramid full of blisters ready to crash.
Oh no,
the
I've
server.
built that. You can get up to 600 blisters. There aren't that many.
Wonderful. Well, maybe they didn't go full yeet on that.
Just like
Rate of fire weapons still have a use, even if they
Yes,
aren't
they
doing much
sure do,
damage.
just not blisters. Rate of fire weapons being the 100 mils, 203s, in some cases the battleship guns, the Mark 1s and Mark 2s fire a lot faster than the Mark 3s. I would count the X3s in that, actually. They have a decent reload that rate of fire. Pilfit's railguns can fuck right off because you fire 3 times and now they're gone for 2 minutes. I have a few hot takes about those, but rate of fire, to me, means consistent damage over time. If you're just spraying the target with nothing, what's the point of even firing?
Shield overload.
Yeah, shield
That's the
overload
point.
would be the main
That's
reason.
what lasers are for.
Blisters do a better job.
Do they do a better job?
Lasers don't do well if they're set to energy.
Because I set 80 drones that had 4 meatballs on them, circling a singular target, and that target was not firing back, and I let them sit there for 45 minutes, and they didn't even
Really?
overheat the shield.
Really?
You mean blisters or
Yes.
meatballs?
They're the same thing, but
Yeah,
the
they're
meatballs
really
are-
the same gun.
Yeah. The meatballs are the upgraded one. So if the upgraded gun can't do anything to shields for 45 minutes, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you think they're great, that's awesome. Use them and be effective with them. I just don't believe you.
I think they're cheap. And I think
Yeah, they're
I think
cheap.
there's
They're very
I
cheap,
think there's
which
a
is
place
nice.
for cheap guns. You know.
Yeah, like the Mark 1s, for example, those are 60 battle points. A lot of people don't know that because they don't look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of every small form factor weapon, I think just for how effective they are, the Battleship Mark 1s are probably one of the best.
Yeah, I would have to say I
Especially
agree
since
with
you
you.
can swap out the ammo on them.
When the 100 mils were nice and cheap, I made very good use of those for the same reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody did. They were getting a little overused.
Yeah.
They were just so good.
They were very good for their cost then. Personally, I think they're a little overcosted now.
Yeah, they're a bit overcosted, I think, too. But it's hard to really nail something like that down. Because
Yeah.
right now, I don't think we really have a solid, effective, spammable point defense weapon. Like,
Mhm.
CIWS doesn't count. PDCs don't count. Discos, no. Any PDX, nobody's going to use those. There's like 250 battle points each. You crazy? But the 100 mils just had that perfect combination of it can do a few things, it has decent range, it has a few different modes, the form factor's kind of nice, decent speed. It had every single thing I could possibly want out of a PD, and then they just crept the price up, and I guess you're just left with the useless PDCs, really.
Mm-hmm.
If you want something to cover a lot of angles.
If I could ask real quick, what I got into Starcore kind of late. What was the original price of 100 millimeters?
I think it was like 80.
30.
At one point,
30?
it was as low as 30. Yeah.
Oh
that was
man,
before my time, yeah.
I wish I was
back when
around
they
for
were trying
that.
The 35K stuff.
Like if
Yeah.
those things were still 30, I would have took like 20 or 30 of those.
Yeah, everybody would. Like, I want to
Some
use them,
people
but I
did.
also understand why they have
do
to be a
believe
little bit more expensive.
This is the situation that evolved the flying bananas and the reverse recurves and all of those ships,
Mhm.
where these
Yeah,
highly
it was the same
effective,
thing with
spammable
Pilfit's.
weapons.
It was the same thing with Pilfit's railguns. They were originally extraordinarily cheap.
Yeah.
And you saw that from like a few ships in the early tournaments this season 0 that had like 40, 50 of them.
To a certain extent, I think that is the cost, but that was also I guess you could call it the meta, but the experience of players, generally speaking, did not really develop by that time. So it
Well, that was before he added the cooldown or the overheat. to
Yeah,
the
No, I
room.
mean
it was,
in
yeah.
general for people building stuff, like they weren't
Ah.
thinking about doing anything other than I don't know what works. Guns everywhere. Like you're not. They didn't really think
No,
about it too hard.
also, you take into consideration the meta of no one was really building for shields, particularly then.
Yeah.
People were building armored
shields are,
bricks, and railguns
great
are very good
debalancer, I
against
think.
armor and not good at all against shields.
Yeah, the thing about shields is that they require high DPS that is sustained. And that's what makes them so difficult to work around, where if a weapon can't do anything to shields, don't bring it. Because they're going to have shields, and if you can't crack their shields, you're not going to do anything to them whatsoever. Yeah, you can overheat them eventually, but you're already dead. So you need to have that constant nice rate of fire of big punchy guns that do damage to shields,
Mhm.
and then armor is really secondary in terms of consideration for your weapon. Like we saw somebody with gladiuses ripping apart a massive pyramid because the massive pyramid forgot about him, I guess.
Mhm.
And he just ripped him apart, and he wasn't ever really considering I got to get through his armor somehow, because he didn't care. It was
Yeah.
all about the shields. You have to get through the shields.
Yeah,
This
and,
turned into
and
a rant
then,
about how I
and
don't
then
like shields.
weapons. Weapons became about stripping the other weapons off of the enemy's hull rather than necessarily getting to the juicy bits inside.
Yeah, I think the one of the less good decisions was allowing subsystem targeting in general, because it can target stuff through an arbitrary amount of blocks sometimes, and then sometimes it won't fire at all, and sometimes it's really buggy, and sometimes you'll just go up to somebody and immediately strip all of their guns, and then nobody's having fun. Well, I guess you're having fun because you just won the match. At
Yeah,
almost no
I mean that's
capital cost.
a fair point. Should you be able to target subsystems through X layers of armor?
Yeah,
that's a legitimate
Or-
question.
I'd say even at all.
I do have one final question for you before we kick off to the next group here. Who are you looking forward to facing in the next tournament, and who don't you want to face in the next tournament?
Ooh. Well, any team that brings a larger ship is one that I'd want to be matched up against, because I've done a lot of fights against people bringing really big ships, but not so many fights against teams bringing smaller ships, because those are typically the more experienced teams, and those are harder to nail down to get practice with. So I don't have any experience really fighting against a small, scrappy, low BP team per ship, that is. So I guess a conventional team. I don't want to fight a normal team. I want to fight a big Chungus.
Yeah, you've also got a lot of practice against specifically Spartan.
Yep. Sure do.
I mean,
knows what they're talking about.
that practice helped out for me.
Yeah, it sure did. Like, I know what to do against Spartan. That's fine. A lot of other people freak out and go, "I will ram him. That'll do good things." No, it
To
never
be
does.
fair, that almost worked. That almost worked today.
It almost
Tried my
worked.
damnedest.
Yeah, but like if
move
I'm up
with
against a bunch of
desperation.
smaller ships, I just freak out and go, I don't know what that ship is doing. He's moving faster than like a glacier. I don't understand.
So UOD, what the team we fought would have been a not cool team for you. You would have been uncomfortable with that situation.
I wouldn't have been confident, but I already got my ass soundly handed to me, tactically speaking, by being my head stuck in a tiny little tube, not looking at the rest of the fight. So I think I could have gone up against any team that had more than one ship and lost in that scenario. That's how poorly I was playing, or rather leading my team, because of that tunnel vision.
Don't beat yourself up too bad. Every day is a learning experience.
Oh.
I'm not beating
Always a
myself
chance for
up. I know
improvement.
exactly what happened and why it happened, and why it happened
Oh.
was I made a mistake, and that's all
We
I did.
gained a Preston Cole.
Yeah, here he is.
Hey Preston, don't break the studio.
I'll get the
Let's see.
rifle.
I think I got my angry rants out, unless you have anything left for me.
No, I think we're all good. Valid.
No,
actually,
you're good, muzzled.
I've either already accepted your request or I haven't received it, mate.
Let's see.
You need to join him through the friends list.
Yeah, join me through the friends
Hasn't
list, mate.
Invalid been here before?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, yes. I've been here before too. So like, unless
Speaking
you cleared
of-
out your friends list or something, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't even need to be on the friends list because I made this game public. But it's just the easiest way to join, to be honest. And if you search, it's called Starcore Interview World. So if it actually shows up in your search thing, nothing ever shows up in my search things. I always have to use the direct
No, mine's been
connections.
broken for months.
Yep.
Yeah, I've not seen any servers at all in months.
Keen.
I get like the official ones and some of the big ones, and then that's it.
Look at you with the ritzy functional connection going to the
right?
official ones. God damn it, Keen.
Gotta love him though.
Oh, it's good stuff.
So yeah, yes, AMD and SWS.
Oh, the meme pyramid. Oh, I want to know the play-by-play of that fight so badly.
Anybody from those at all?
Who won after I got off?
Which teams?
Yeah.
Teams AMD and teams SWS.
Just saw somebody's body fly past. Who's even flying?
Whose corpse is that?
I think that was Crescent.
Leave the light rigs alone. Oh dear. Right.
I don't think any of them are.
Yeah, I'll assume that they're not. They've off to bedded.
You want me to join or no?
Oh, you're certainly welcome to. Yeah. And
What are we gonna go and strike and demand that Zoc start the streams earlier?
I'll get through the rest of the teams, and then we can talk to modders and admins and so on and so forth, if any are about. Just anybody. So CYB and UFO. Anybody from CYB or UFO about?
UFO's Invalid's team, right?
Yep.
Oh right.
Invalid is here.
Invalid is here. Ah,
Where is
okay.
it?
Ah, yes,
Oh.
yes. Sorry, man. It's been a long day. Droney boys. Vector thrust. Yes. I was very happy to see the Vector thrust chip, man. It's awesome.
Is Invalid aware that he is still muted?
No, he just came on stage to just stare at him awkwardly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Invalid.
His drones
I
will
think
do
I
his
could hear
talking.
In the Stephen
My
Hawking
drones
voice.
talk for me.
Against the shield piercing Grimlocks very well.
Oh yeah.
So I think one of the volley just separated one of the vector thrusters, but with the weapon combinations I brought, I don't think I would have won. Worked better than I expected, though.
Yeah, so were you happy with how the drones performed, at least?
Yes, they could have gone on for another 20 minutes.
Yeah. You just got to keep
But
them.
that would've
Just
been-
got to learn to keep the mothership safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the story of many a drone team, to be honest. That the
One or two drones less, and you would have had enough points to really armor up the central vessel.
Armor's free.
Well, by testing, I was able to consistently dodge almost all missiles, but not from multiple directions, which I realized I should have tested for. because I just tested a few times against a large
And
35k point ship.
I remember when I was watching that fight, my first thing I said was, "Oh my god, I bet that thing goes like shit off a shovel." How fast were you? I'm guessing
I was
the max.
doing like the maximum was 240 because it was just over the limit where I couldn't hit 250 with that relative speed, which was fine. But for acceleration, I think it was doing like 70 meters per second. So I reached max speed in like 3 seconds.
Yeah. 4 of those big thrusters. I knew that thing was going to be nippy as hell.
Isn't that the average deceleration in a car crash?
It might be, but
Just every time you hit the gas. Or...
luckily we don't have the G-force mod.
That's a lot more than a car crash.
You think?
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd just be like a smear of jam across the back of the wall of the cockpit.
But I don't think it let me pull the maneuvers I wanted to because they'd had to take time to rotate the nacelles. And they're quite big, so it would take like 1 second to rotate, 180 degrees. Other than that, I am pretty happy with my result.
Enough. Like I said, it's it's nice to see actual engineering and space engineers. People using drones, people using PMWs. PMWs are controversial as hell, but it's called space engineers. So engineering should be a part of it.
I've just recently, like within the last 20 minutes, engineered a brand new PMW. This one's extra nasty. You'll see it later.
I'm pretty sure if we all banded together, we could like start our own arms company.
Yeah.
Oh, if we all banded together.
Can we?
No.
I mean, selling blueprints of PMWs and optimal like reactor system layouts or best structuring. I think there could be a business behind that. It's like we've seen already from the tournament. There are some people who don't have the best building skills, so I think offering to give them prepackaged systems or an edge. I think there might be there might be a business in that.
There might be a market in that. How much to invest in that mythical business?
Pre-packaging entire ships to be used.
Well, that too. It's better than just getting something off the workshop.
Yeah, slap some pilfit guns on this. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Market them like a used car salesman.
Yeah.
No, and then you can get all the drama where it's like, you promise one side that you only sold these blueprints to them, and then you've done that like 5 times already. So everyone shows up in the same ship.
And always design a frigate-size drone.
Yeah. Or a drone-sized frigate.
Or combat-size, because currently it's what? Currently it's fighter size.
Yeah.
Well, anything bigger than that tends to be too much of a risk for just wandering away and not staying on target.
If you tune it right, that's not really much of a
Not
threat.
true.
Yeah.
Not true. You just need to upgrade the thrust.
Well, that and proper configuration of the drones is very critical. Like, I saw people in the chat saying, "Oh, that drone's gonna sail away." Ha! I called it. Yeah, it's because I had left the timer 100 seconds too much. The tuning is everything on the drones, and you can make any size of ship work. I actually made Spartan ship into a drone once. Fun fact.
That's a nightmare of a thought.
Yeah, it really is.
It had a minimum orbital distance of 48 meters. As in, it can hold an orbit of 48 meters around any given fixed point. Yeah, it was quite something.
Next time I'm gonna have that as an override. I'm just gonna turn on drone mode and AI autopilot.
Yeah, new plan. Take all the guns off. Just make it a really big, heavy missile.
become the
Won't work.
PMW.
PMW.
It won't work.
If you just change some of the drone settings, you can make it into a very, very aggressive missile that sometimes misses.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, what's the meme? I'm the captain now, but instead it's I'm the BMW now.
I am the missile now.
You just do the opposite and make a really big PMW and a really small capital ship.
Imagine for a moment 4 ships with high amounts of shields designed specifically for ramming.
I mean, you don't even need
I
to be
thought the day one
specifically
Pac-Man was exactly that. You know,
You thought a giant ball with no thrust was a ramming thing.
Well, I didn't think it had no thrust. I just thought we couldn't see the thrust. I thought it had no weapons, and therefore, and it did have a stupid amount of shields. So I honestly thought that the Pac-Man was going to be used for ramming and was going to go around like wacka 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 nom nom nom.
Pac-Man.
It did actually get a ram in from somebody, and like a good quarter of it just broke off because it's all light armor.
The Waka? No, I'm pretty sure it's entirely heavy armor.
Is it entirely heavy armor? Jeez, that was quite the impact then, because like a freaking good quarter of it just popped right off.
Earlier in the battle, I saw like part of the eyebrow flying off. I'm like,
Yeah,
When did that happen?
crack just propagated around like the entire upper end.
Mhm.
It was quite something. So I guess the interior is hollow. It doesn't like have a lot of
Nope.
density.
Whole thing's just a hollow ball. Or sorry, not hollow.
Yeah.
A dense ball of heavy armor.
Jeez, that must have been quite something to cause that then. All right, I retract the statement about light armor.
Yeah.
Something occurred.
Yeah, it must have been
God
a
knows
hell of
what.
an impact.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up because I feel like we've seen a lot of those like impacts range from not doing anything to like completely coring out ships. The randomness is kind of like, I guess, innate to King Code. Like I think in day one we saw one of the first matches a ship just barreled into someone else and their entire middle section just exploded from the ram.
So yeah, thank
Aim
you,
physics,
thank you, Grok, for bringing us back on target. Yes. So
my
yeah,
bad.
Invalid. Any points that you'd like to bring up and about how things have gone and technical doodads and past the servers. Thank you very much for all of your contributions.
Oh, no problem. Math's probably the single person and his bot is the most important thing that's holding this tournament together.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, this would
big thank
definitely
you to
not be-
Math.
I do have a question.
Oh yeah.
Why a thrust vectoring ship? Is it just to cut down on cost for thrusters?
Yes, I wanted to go fast and not have thrusters in all directions, sucking up points.
And mass.
Yeah, mass too.
Funny about that, Invalid. Are you interested in an armored version of the vector system?
No.
I don't think you can armor vector thrust.
You
What
can
the heck?
actually if you're pressed.
Really?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can always pop the rotor head off the rotor, right? With force.
Oh no, you will have a very hard time doing that. This design.
He's gotten very good at armoring rotors after being the one guy who's actually using rotor turrets properly. And then they banned them, so he uses his power for good now. And by good, I mean vector thrusters.
Yes.
He's quite adept at it.
Wait, hold on. They banned rotor turrets?
No, they banned the script that made turret slaving possible because it allowed an exploit where you could have an auto-aiming script that would aim like a Mac for you. Like your whole ship would aim automatically and then auto-fire. That's why.
No, it won't. No, it won't turn the ship. It will only turret.
Oh god.
Not your script. It's just the functionality that allowed your script to work.
Yeah.
Hold on. Imagine if that script was still here. Mac drones.
Oh, you don't need to imagine it.
They oscillate too much. Oh, that's so I chose the T2 fixed lasers on my drones because they had enough tracking speed to ignore the oscillation from the unstable flight of the drones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone used 300mm drones, and I noticed, I think it was Velcro's team,
Yes, it was, yeah.
that the drones were outmaneuvering their turret rotation speeds most of the time.
I was actually surprised that they worked, but to be fair, they worked.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Matthew, welcome to join us either just in the Discord or you're welcome to dive into game and take a seat on the couch if you'd like, mate.
So, Invalid, I do have a couple of questions for you as to the origin.
Falco's 300 mils only work because he's using.
Speaking
not trying to hit something with the non-guided rounds.
The origins of what? Sorry.
I wanted to learn a little bit more about the origins of what made you dive into doing drones. This hardcore approach to droning all the time. What are the origins there?
I can tell my team to shoot one target.
Yep, the team sometimes does listen.
And it's probably suboptimal to just having one large ship, I think. Well, a Velcro script, it's made almost possible, or almost equal. But I just think it's cool.
Just love the drone armada concept, and it keeps pulling you in with tasty tidbits of almost working or almost perfect.
One day it will work.
So yeah, let's get Math up as well if he's up for talking, and also if there's anybody from TFI or KST around.
Two members of TFI are here.
Cool. Yeah.
One day we will have the drones playing along to Imperial March.
I mean, drone success has gone up drastically since the chicken nuggets.
It has, yes. Bless the chicken nuggets, though. The chicken nuggets will live on in our memories. So TFI, how did you find today? Are you happy with your performance?
I mean, personally, and this may be different from my team, but I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not very happy about a few things that happened, especially the fact that the other team couldn't see the ring. And they just all kind of suddenly got wiped out by that at the end.
Yeah.
Not like it was like that was the only determining factor, but it was a bummer to see that happen. And I feel like that kind of stole
we couldn't turn the
this feeling
sphere
of
on
victory.
for us either. So we just navigated via the center beacon. Just made sure that we stayed close to it. But yeah, we couldn't turn it on either. Type /sphere and nothing happened. So yeah.
It did work for me.
It worked for you.
We
Didn't
can
work for
blame
me.
Ducks.
Works on my machine, amazing.
Yeah, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, it's not much comfort if you're just flying in a straight line and then you start exploding.
Yeah.
Is it case sensitive?
Maybe.
Were
Could be
you trying to
something-
turn it on before the battle had started or after?
I think it was before the start call.
So you can't see the sphere until /start has been typed, and it takes a good second or two delay before it even appears after /start. So you might have actually been toggling it on and off, and toggled it off and left it there after it wasn't working.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, it's on by default, so don't do anything. If you don't see the sphere after the round has started, it's a sync problem.
But like I said, it didn't turn out to be a problem because, you've always got the center beacon, a little bit of brain work, and you can work out whether or not you're going to be out of the zone.
I'd say the other thing I was very disappointed about was our lack of PMW working. They decided they wanted to completely just throw a fit, not function whatsoever, until the very end of the battle where everyone was already dead. Suddenly they started firing.
This is why you're supposed to check your PMW scripts.
So was that the usual problem of the programming block not loading in properly and not having the code accessible via the programming block, just the programming block just pretending to be something else? Because I've known that one many times.
Honestly, we're not sure at the moment. I am especially not sure because I'm not the one who drives the max ship. That is Shammy, who is unfortunately not here. Who did an amazing job with like just shooting the max in general. But he also has the PMWs on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no.
Common issue with programmable blocks.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is a
Especially when they
very
load it
common
into
issue, and it's not just Starcore related either. I've had this problem on my own. It's just keen. You know, you load up the game. Sometimes the programming blocks don't recognize that they're programming blocks.
I thought it was just a weird bug with the script whitelist plugin, but
nope.
If it's universal.
Oh, it's universal. I've had it in big old battles, and we're not using a script whitelist for that. I've had it in survival series, a couple of them actually. No, what it is, I'm pretty sure, is that if you have a bunch of complicated mods, the load order for things gets confused, and it attempts to load stuff, and basically doesn't sync up the threading of the loading. And so the programming block doesn't start. There's a more minor version of that where the programming block itself starts, but the script running it, if it's trying to access modded blocks, doesn't find the modded blocks, and therefore the script fails. And I've known both of those problems. And it's
a good thing Weapon Core is an extremely simple mod.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does seem to be more common with Weapon Core because of exactly that reason. But it's not on Weapon Core. I swear down, I know what's causing this problem, and it's to do with threading, multi-threading, and the loading. And it's very much on King's End.
Well, looks like math is in game.
Yeah, cool. Come up.
Not very comforting, but good to know.
We can always get Zorlik to screech at Keen to fix it.
Do it.
Excuse me. And yeah, the only solution to it I know of is reconnect or reload. Unfortunately.
Recompile
As in, like,
sometimes helps.
Well, the problem I'm talking about, sometimes you can't even press the recompile button because the programming block doesn't even have those buttons on it. Wank.
Yeah, that's a reload on F5. Yep. That's so weird whenever that happens. I'm just baffled by it.
So, Math, now you're here. Thank you from all of us for all of the hard work.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah, you're an absolute legend.
MVP.
Replace it with a bot.
Oh, actually, quick personal thing. Is there any way you can make two separate modes for pasting in? One for the actual tournament itself and one for the showcases in the future, so that way we all have our power on and aren't shooting each other? Because I'm assuming that's why the power is not on.
Well, they're all different factions, so Zoc would need to like write something down or remember something, because they're all going to say they're going to be on the same faction.
Or make peace between all the factions somehow automatically.
Oh yeah, you could do that. I didn't even think
Well,
of that.
what we did, what's it called, is just have our faction name within the ship name.
Oh, that works.
And the player names of the ship name, so.
Any
I had some poems on the side of my
the situation that we experienced where our own PDAF was shooting down our own missiles?
I think that's an ownership problem.
I think it's an ownership problem too. It's the way things are at the minute. The ships are pasted in by the bot, right? So the bot owns everything.
The bot also turns off every block on the ship, so I think that if he excludes power blocks and LCDs, it should be okay. I
Or
think,
he can
not
just make
100%
friends
sure.
between all the factions. That sounds
And
simple.
lights.
Oh yeah, that also works.
Yeah,
And there's a
we
bot.
could go through like the spaghetti method or just friends.
The bot actually assigns you as the owner. Okay. So, but yeah, it does seem like an ownership problem for a team to be shooting down their own missiles. Definitely seems like an ownership issue. or some sort of faction-related problem.
It's very strange because like your character in game is not the same as your character that uses a Steam ID.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Keen does, but Math had to do some sort of workaround because when characters would connect, they would have their names as their Steam ID.
Yeah. Oh, I had some fun with that one with the bot myself. I've got a custom URL set up for my Steam account, and I had some fun getting my Steam ID.
My favorite part is
So,
when the bot
go
only
back.
accepts uncompressed zip files.
Oh my
Only
gosh.
uncompressed zip files.
Yep.
Go
what's
back.
up?
Question.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Interested in turning your battle stars into drones.
Everybody's a drone now.
Everybody's a drone.
Elon has taken over the battle star.
We actually, so if you look out of the window, you can see a large grid Raptor. We nearly featured that along with a large grid Viper, but we call the Shoddy Raptor and Shoddy Viper because, you know, trying to build those things in large grid is quite the challenge. And yeah, we nearly had those as drones, but honestly, the big ships worked out better for us. So we were nearly a drone team as well. We were going to, you know, thinking about bringing like one battle star and then, you know, like 30 drones.
Yep.
We were sorely tempted, but after some combat testing, we decided that we were better off with the big ships.
Well, you go with the Vipers with Tigers.
I think you gotta build the Vipers first. Like, that's already a really beefy Raptor.
Yeah.
It's a
that-
chunky girl.
It's just chunky Raptor. Fat Raptor is what that is. Yeah.
Raptor.
And
No,
the
not that.
Viper the Viper ain't much better, to be honest.
Not fat, well fed.
Yeah, big boned Raptor.
Yeah, healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Thick.
The curvaceous Raptor.
Not particularly curvaceous.
It's not really,
I
is
do
it?
wanna
Chunky
ask-
is the right word.
Yeah, angular even.
Are there any questions from the people currently in the chat or in the voice call for the Big Ol' Bear team?
Let's see.
Big old bear account.
We have me and Mr. Calzone in at the minute, and Grot's our team mascot. Grot made our icon. So we've declared him team mascot.
And we made the stage as well, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's see. Oh, I got one question.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Why the 10 trillion small thrusters?
Redundancy.
Looks.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You got me on looks. Redundancy certainly not, because oh boy, they all died in one shot.
Yep. You're better off using a large armored thruster.
They blew up good.
Yeah,
So,
looks.
yeah,
would
looks
be
is an
the honest.
acceptable
Looks would
response
be the
for-
honest reason.
Yeah.
We built
That
first
kind
and foremost for appearance.
Yeah.
BD built the shell. We all built ships to see what we could come up with. There's a live stream of that highlighted. I think highlighted. I think might not be, but it'll still be there as a live stream. So we went done like a week ago. And yeah, we all built ships, combat tested them, see what fitted within various weight categories, and we ended up going with BD's shell, which we then took copies of, did an internal for like an internal infrastructure for, and then modified to make 4 different ships, basically.
Yeah, TEC always builds for looks first, and we actually almost made a Pegasus. That was That was in the lineup originally.
Oh. Very nice. Yeah, awesome.
All right.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you everybody for being here. I believe that's got through anyone. If there's anybody else that would like to say their piece, and if not, we will wrap up for the night.
Spartan just throw down the gauntlet to Pilfit.
Sorry, but I didn't hear that. What you said, mate.
Spartan just threw down the gauntlet for Pilfit.
Okay.
You say that like that's not done every single day of every single week of every single
Spartan
hour
just
of every
threw down the
millisecond that's ever been
gauntlet for
happening.
Pilfit. Yeah. So Spartans. What's the name of Spartan ship? Because it's just been referred to
Charybdis.
the Charybdis. The Charybdis versus the Belle Delphine. Yeah.
Bellerophon.
I know what I said. I can feel Pilfit fuming at that. So is let me know let me know when that fight's going to be, gents, and I'll come spectate it.
Oh my god, I just found your little raptors. Like the large block raptors.
Yep.
Or, yeah,
Let me paste in the large block Viper as well, man.
or Vipers, not raptors. They're
I'm there. Are you looking on my workshop? Yeah.
No, I'm looking in front of the ship. There's like these tiny little lawn dart looking things like
Oh
the red painted nose.
they were just in for like perspective.
I see.
To
You found
from
the
the
set
camera.
dressings.
Yeah, that's they're just the set. I'll let me paste one in for you folks to have a look at. You'll see.
Why do people still do PMWs and drones given the reliability? Because it's fun.
Yeah.
If I wanted to play
Because
around
it's a
with,
challenge.
like, a giant brick, I'd do that.
It's an engineering challenge to get it right, and people don't realize that. There's a lot of people going, "Oh, things are broken, things are unfair," and it's like, do you realize the actual amount of engineering challenge that went into making those things work and testing them and getting them anything like reliable?
Also, PMWs, even if they are somewhat unreliable, when they do go through, are proven to be effective damage dealers.
Yeah, they
And
just
the
dispense
ironic
dynamite.
Potentially too effective.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
I-
teams use them just because they're effective, and they may despise them, but they work.
Yeah.
The ironic part is, we kind of suggested the Warhead PMWs, even though we didn't use it ourselves for the tournament. And they were nasty. Very
Yeah,
nasty.
Warhead
ours going
PMWs
through-
are very nasty. Yes. As they should be.
The critical breakthrough was the arming mechanism was the trick that we developed in a joint, like 5-team development project. What's the nastiest thing that we can come up with? And that was it.
That's no longer the nastiest. Muzzle has.
I've developed a new one that's actually far more terrifying than any Warhead PWM by far.
What, you mean
Just
the
out of
warhead
curiosity.
cheat of delete every block for 5 blocks isn't that nasty
Yes,
enough?
I'm dead serious. I am deadly serious.
Okay, hold
Oh
on.
my.
Important question. Can you reveal your secrets?
No.
No.
I mean, they're gonna get found out
Until they
eventually.
use them or get banned. One of the two.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna get to use them in a skirmish once, and then everybody's gonna have it anyway. So there's not gonna be any point for me to keeping secrecy. But I
Are
will
the
say the
teams
performance
here-
is quite
Are the
good.
teams here aware that our designs are locked in for the remainder of the tournament?
Hype is out already. He's
Yeah.
talking about future.
Yep.
Yes.
There we go, guys. The shoddiest of raptors.
Oh my.
Here we have a reasonably well modelled raptor. And here we have a large grid
It has blisters.
mess.
Adorable.
I love it. I love it. You should have taken 30 of them.
Document.
I can't believe you didn't take many of them. Or at least one of them.
They were really ineffective.
Oh, I could have told you that. They use blisters.
Yeah. Honestly, they were. The blisters are on there more as a joke. They're basically missiles.
Yeah.
They were intended to ram the enemy, not to shoot them.
Yeah.
Hence the warhead on the back. Yeah, we were tempted. But there was also the consideration for the fact that we got a fairly decent team together from the Big Old Battles crew. So we wanted people flying ships as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, designs in the workshop. Feel free, people. Have fun.
Biggle, it's drifting.
It's only got an armed warhead on it. It's fine.
It's begging for the sweet release of death. Please grant it.
It probably is begging for the sweet release of death. The biggest problem with the large grid
Kill
drone
me.
trying to find out where the bloody hell to stick the aerial was one of the biggest problems I had with them.
Yeah, that's the problem with our current the drones we use in this tournament. If you manage to get off the antenna, the shield will all just jump forward and knock the ship anyway.
And it's like the slightest hint of the hitbox of the antenna sticking out the very furthest part, like behind the shield. So it can be tapped by a single missile and then boop, gone.
Yep.
Yep.
That was
So
awful.
I did a redesign, and there's a new iteration that won't have the issue anymore.
Well, don't worry. We have all this tournament and all the next month to worry about it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what weapon to stick on.
Yeah, you can stick them on the thruster if you're not using Hive Mind. But what if I am using Hive Mind? No. I'm definitely just going to yeet the fucking antennas off. The Hive Mind is a totally useless feature to me.
Well, folks, I think I'm
Do
going
we
to
have
call
a
the...
Velcro or anyone else?
Actually,
being interviewed.
Yeah, do we have anybody else?
I have already been interviewed technically, but I do have a question to ask everybody here because I'm curious about the opinions. So, what is everyone's opinion regarding like the whole substitute system as it currently is? Because, what's it called? When we were trying to get a substitute earlier, we ran into a lot of troubles, and in fact, almost nearly didn't get one due to what's it called, some technicalities. Because for whatever reason, right now you currently cannot recruit anyone who's on any other active team. Like, period. Even if like you're not going to even touch them in the bracket anytime soon.
Well, there's a lot more unactive teams now, so hypothetically there's going to be a lot more availability. But in the beginning of the bracket, I can see that being a problem. Yeah.
We didn't have a problem with it. We basically prepped a team of about 8 people. Some of which we put in the team, and some of which we put down as subs. And then when it got round to the fight tonight, we rolled the dice in the Discord.
Substitute system is subpar.
I mean, it's really consistent and great and nice. Because, yeah, don't tell anyone. I flew on Spartan's ship.
Whoa.
No, I didn't tell you that. I definitely wasn't there.
And we were denied having, what's it called? I think it was Renegade, or Zeno. I can't remember the name. They offered to be on ours, but we got denied to that.
Yeah, I really like consistent and like fair systems, and I think the substitute system's really good and great, actually. Yeah, there's no problems with that at all.
The implementation of those rules needs to be more consistent.
Yes, it does.
But I do agree with the concept behind it.
I don't agree at all, because some of us like don't have an infinite amount of people to draw on. Some of us are barely scraping by as is. Some of us barely got to make the damn stream to begin with. And now you're telling me I have to make sure 3 of my friends can make it here on time, and then one gets hit by a car or a lightning bolt, or he has to go to his job, or God forbid it's Father's Day and everybody has to go do that.
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous.
Oh, actually, I heard somebody actually did have a team member who got hit by a car.
Well, there you go.
Someone posted that in chat.
It is a bit of a.
I hope it wasn't mine, because I know that my teammate is making an 8-hour drive because he stuck behind from something to play.
Yeah. Like, people are bending over backwards just to be able to make it, and then.
And
people
this
are
was
saying,
your
"Oh,
reminder,
you can't sell
everybody,
because you played
that
on another team." That's silly.
was Father's Day. And now you're all in trouble.
Joke's on you, it's still today.
Yes, please, Grot. I think we'll call it there, mate. I will be streaming some more stuff in a short while, but I'm going to take about a 10-minute break. Go and get myself a bit of grab a bit of something to eat, and etc. etc. And I will dive out of the Starcore voice chat and dive back into my own Discord, into Big Ol' Live, and then we'll work out where we're going from there. You're welcome to stick around, or go grab yourself a drink or whatever, and see you in 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for coming along for the interviews. It's always very interesting to hear the different perspectives.
Thank you, Bear.
Hope everyone has a fantastic night.
And again, thank you to all of the organisers, admins, and the modders that make this sort of thing possible. You're all wonderful people.